And good morning. I'm Rick Folbaum here at the ANF Plus News Desk. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. It's the first day of spring. We've got a weekend ahead of us. We also have some beautiful weather in store. Hot, but no rain. Courtney Jacobazzi will join us in just a couple of minutes to give us the full forecast. But first, I want to get you caught up on some of the stories that are happening today, and including a story that we've been following now for what feels like weeks and weeks and weeks. It involves violence and children, essentially, and there has been another case of that. Now, people in Clayton County are asking for security to be ramped up at a roller skating rink after a 14-year-old was shot in the parking lot of that roller skating rink. Atlanta News First Don Shipman went to that community and spoke with some people who were there and filed this report.
Yeah, families are growing frustrated by this increase in teen violence. There's been multiple shootings amongst teens in just a matter of weeks. This latest one happening at the Skate Zone here in Clayton County, a popular spot for kids for decades. The shooting happening outside where police say a large crowd of kids gathered. The teen has a long road to recovery, but will survive, will be okay. All this after being shot in the chest, shoulder, and forearm. Neighbors want parents, police, and the community to take a proactive approach and beef up security where kids.
I'm going to cut away from that. I think we were having some technical problems with some of the audio from Don's report. I want to talk about car safety now, especially as the temperatures warm up. We are talking about the importance of making sure that kids are not left unattended in vehicles. And the National Safety Council says that about 37 children die every year as a result of hot car deaths. These are completely preventable deaths, and you can see from this video, I mean, obviously any parent knows, and I can talk to this as well. You have a baby in a car seat in the back, maybe you have groceries, maybe you have a dog, maybe you've got other things, and it is easy sometimes to forget about things, but leaving your child, forgetting about a child in a hot car can be very dangerous. And so here are some tips actually that have been put out there to try to help parents. The number one tip to prevent this is to check the back seat. Also, everybody should keep their car locked, because hot car deaths don't just happen when a child is forgotten. They happen when a child unknowingly opens up a car door and gets inside without a parent knowing about it. So never leave a child alone. And if you see a child alone in a vehicle, make sure the child is okay and responsive. And if not, call 911 immediately. So those are some tips there to avoid this terrible tragedy that takes place all too often. Another story we're following has to do with Grammy Award singer Chris Brown. Here he is. He is pleading not guilty to beating a music producer at a nightclub in London, England. The 36-year-old appeared in court this morning. He's charged with grievous bodily harm in connection with an alleged assault back in February of 2023. Again, he is pleading not guilty. He's actually on tour in London through the weekend. So there's the story involving Chris Carr. And finally, some bragging rights for Atlanta's own Delta Airlines. Delta is the best airline for the 7th year in a row. That's according to the travel expert The Points Guy. The company's 2025 report was released on Thursday, and it ranks airlines based on their reliability, their loyalty programs, cost and reach, and more. And Delta scored high marks for consistently being on time and having good customer service. The top 3 airlines list is rounded out by United Airlines and Southwest Airlines as well. So some of the headlines on this Friday. I promised you the weather. We want to get caught up now with that, and our first alert meteorologist, Courtney Jacobazzi, who is going to take over from here. I will see you next week. Have a great weekend. Courtney.
Thanks so much, Rick. Yeah, and thankfully, for the first time in a while, we don't have to talk about storms for your weekend. We are going to really start to heat up over the next several days. So that's, of course, something to think about as you're making your weekend plans and everything. Of course, heat safety, always top of mind as we go into the summer months. And so as you're, making your weekend plans, just think, you'll want to definitely spend some time in the shade. Make sure you're staying cool, the light, loose clothing, all the things. Of course, staying plenty hydrated, lots of sunscreen. You know the drill. We stay hot. several months out of the year here in Georgia. So we are professionals at that. All right, everyone. I'm First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi. Thank you so much for spending some time with us here this morning. Let's get you caught up on your forecast, and it's going to be pretty brief because we don't have a lot to talk about. We have this huge ridge of high pressure that is going to build in actually from the Atlantic. We call it the Bermuda High. It's a semi-permanent high pressure system that floats out in the Atlantic, especially this time of year when the ocean waters get warm. And that's going to take over the southeast and allow our forecast to stay dry and warm. Underneath an area of high pressure, air sinks. When air sinks, it warms. We will be plenty warm today. I meant to take the red bars off of here today, but that's okay. We'll be in the mid to upper 80s by 3 o'clock. Nothing but sunshine today. The humidity will stay a little on the lower side. Even at 9 o'clock, we're still in the 80s. So if you have any Friday night plans tonight, just know it's going to be pretty toasty out there. But again, the humidity staying relatively at bay for the day today. So it's not going to be miserably humid, but it'll definitely be plenty hot with a temperature of 90 degrees for a high in Atlanta today. Only the 4th time we'll hit 90 for the year so far. And today is appropriately the summer solstice. Summer begins officially at 10:41 p.m. Today known as the longest day of the year when the sun is tilted away from Earth, or excuse me, towards Earth, of course. And temperatures again near 90 degrees for the summer solstice. So as we start to tilt closer and closer to the sun, that gives us that nice long day. Sunset tonight at 8:51 p.m. You'll want to spend some time by the pool today because, again, it's going to be hot. And if you have plans to be outdoors this weekend, spend time by the water, one of our beautiful lakes and rivers, or by one of your local pools or splash pads, get out and enjoy it because the water will feel great cooling you off with temperatures in the low 90s Saturday and Sunday. Now, unfortunately, on Sunday, it does look like that's when our humidity really starts to ramp back up area-wide. So let's take you through the feels like temperatures going into this upcoming weekend. Tomorrow afternoon, feeling like the low to mid-90s, that humidity starting to creep in from the south, feeling more like 100 in Eatonton. And then Sunday afternoon, that humidity really starts to spike, and we're looking at feels like temperatures area-wide in the mid to upper 90s, feeling more like 102 in Eatonton, and we continue to pump in that moisture come Monday. Monday will feel like 97 Monday afternoon, feels like 104 in Eatonton, 101 in Athens, 100 in Covington, 101 in LaGrange. So just make sure, as you're sending the kids back to summer camp next week, as you're heading back to work, as you're running your errands, you need to think of all the heat safety tips. You want to think of, you don't want to leave your pets in the car. You want to make sure the kids have plenty of water and sunscreen. The UV index is going to be really high the next few days. So all of the summer heat tips, you definitely want to keep those top of mind as we head into this much hotter forecast pattern here. 7-day forecast will show you no first alert weather days. When's the last time we were able to say that? Honestly, I probably couldn't tell you. But we are seeing a whole lot of sunshine, whole lot of 90s, in fact, 90 today and beyond. We will be closer to 100 degrees, even without the heat index Tuesday and Wednesday. So I do think Tuesday and Wednesday we will have to watch for those feels like temperatures to near that dangerous criteria, which for us here in North Georgia is 105. It does look like those feels like temperatures could get to the 102, 103 range Tuesday and Wednesday. And Wednesday and Thursday will be our next best chance for rain, only at 20 to 30% though. So low-end chances for rain over the next 7 days. Quite the forecast pattern change for us. All right, everyone. Again, thank you for spending some time with us here this morning on Atlanta News First Plus. We always appreciate it. Make it a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the dry, warm summer weather as we go into the first full weekend of summer. And we'll catch you here next time.
Stay up to date on your latest weather from the largest team of meteorologists in the Southeast. Download the First Alert Weather app for hour-by-hour forecasts and join us every weekday at 11:30 a.m. on ANF+. You can also text WEATHER to the number on your screen, and we'll send a link directly to your cell phone.